So in this video, we're going to walk through the level instance utils plugin developed under DMTesseracT. The plugin allows you to make changes to level instance actors that have been placed in a persistent map. So typically, if you drag a level instance into a map, then you can't edit the actors that are packed inside of it. So we couldn't make individual changes to one instance without affecting all of the instances of that level instance. So if we wanted to, for example, change the roof color of one house without affecting the color of the other house, the only way you could achieve that would be to save a new level instance, make the changes, and then drag that into the map as well. But the trouble there now is that you've got two instances that you've got to manage instead of just a single level instance, and if you start scaling that up, you can see how that becomes quickly unmanageable. So this plugin tries to address that, and to give you an idea of how it works, here I've just got a level instance which is a section of the dream ship copied out from the War of Being game, saved it into a level instance for the sake of the demo, and we've copied it 3 times, so this is the same level instance 3 times. And all we want to do is change the light actor within one without affecting the others. So a quick demo of that is if I press my apply here, I can change the light color within this single instance without affecting the others. Or I could add another one of them to it and affect 2 of them and not the third, like so. So let's walk through how we achieve that. So over in our level instance, the first thing we need to do is find the actors that we want to make changes to. So in our case, we just want to change the color of point light. So we're going to select this point light, and we're going to give it a component, level instance actor script. So any actor within our level instance that we potentially want to make changes to needs to have this component added to it. And you need to give it a name for the manager. So in this case, we'll just call it dynamic light. And that's it. That's all you need to do in your level instance. So just add the level instance actor script component to any actor that you may want to make changes to and set the manager name appropriately. Then you can hop back over to your main map. So over in our main map, the only thing you need to drop into this map is a level instance actor manager base. So if you drop one in, you'll notice that it snaps to world 0. This is because it doesn't have a scene component in the base class. We purely a preference on our part, we opted not to have one. If you prefer to be able to move one around, you can subclass this and add a scene component, and then you'll be able to put it whatever you like in the map. It functionally doesn't matter where you place them, so it's entirely up to you whether you want to do that or not. So in the details panel, under the editor category, you'll notice 2 functions. There's apply in editor, and then there's claim GUIDs from level. Underneath, you've got level instance to query. So your managers will only look through the level instance that you specify in this list. So in our case, we just want to modify the leftmost one, which is dynamic instance. When you hit claim GUIDs from level, this is the instance that your manager will look through to pull out any of the actors that have the component that we added to our light earlier. On top of this, you need to add the manager name that we set on our light. So dynamic light is the manager name that we gave our component. When your actors search for their managers at runtime, this is the name that it asks for effectively. So this is just how you match up the manager to the actors at runtime. So if we hit claim GUIDs from level, our manager will run through this level instance, find any actor that has that component that matches the name that we've set here. So if we hit this now, we'll find the point light that we set earlier. The key in our map is the unique instance ID that Unreal assigns every actor in a map. So this is how our manager recognizes who's asking for the script at runtime without us having to traverse a massive or potentially massive array of actors from the world. So our actor just says, this is my ID, where's my script? And the key here is that ID. So this is just a quick way for our manager to find that without traversing arrays. The value of that map or entry is for the most part informational. So owning level instance, actor name and friendly name are just for designers to be able to distinguish what actor this is. Owning level instance and actor name are automatically populated. Friendly name is just an extra field for designers to be able to really distinguish things, so we can just call it hallway light. Just so that when you have multiple actors within this list, it's easier for you to be able to label them a bit more friendlier than they may potentially come out here. But these are non-functional. They have nothing to do with the way that the managers function. So it is purely information for the designers. The bit that matters most is the script class. So we would need to make a script class. So if we right click, make a new blueprint class, and subclass level instance actor script base, you can call this level instance light color for this. And if you open them up, you'll notice that there's only a single function we need to override. So the target that gets passed into this function is the actor that we want to make the changes to. So in our case, we just want to get component by class. We want to get the point light component. We want to set light color. I'll make it green. Okay, and then you can save and compile. That's all we need to do. And then over in the script class for this point light, we just want to apply the light color script. And if we just hit apply in editor, you can see this previewed in editor. And there we go. We've changed the light color of one instance without affecting the others. A really quick note on the apply in editor function. This does apply the script at design time, so right now, but these changes aren't persistent. So if I was to save this map and then reload the map, our level instances will revert to their base states. So the light will be green, it'll be white. So a very important thing to note is you can't just press apply in editor and then delete the manager and then expect all of your changes to be as they are. These scripts actually need to be loaded at runtime. And the real reason the apply in editor button exists is for ease of designing, really. So one, your designers can really see the state that things will actually be at runtime. And two, so you can test them without having to press play constantly as you develop your scripts. So a few extra things is you can add multiple actors from different instances into the one manager. So if I wanted to edit the light in the third instance as well, I could select that here, hit claim due IDs again, and now I'll have another point light, which is the point light from the dynamic instance 3. I can apply the light color script to that one, hit apply in editor, and now I've got the changes applied to 2 instances. Some extra info is you can press claim GUIDs from level as many times as you like. It will not override any of your custom settings. So if you went in to a level instance and changed the name of an actor, your manager's initial name would be wrong. This doesn't matter again functionally, because all that really matters is the key. But if you wanted, for the sake of clarity, to update those fields, you can just press claim GUID again and it'll pull that data and update it without overriding your script class or your friendly names. And that is pretty much the gist of how you set up the plugin. You just need to add the component to any actor that potentially gets a script fired on it. Set the name of the manager to the same name that you've set in the manager. So your component's manager name needs to match your manager's name. And then as soon as you press play, those actors, as soon as they are relevant, will ask the managers for their scripts and apply themselves. So a little extra technical info. The script class reference here in the map is a hard reference to a class. It's not soft. So I know some optimizers might be screaming, saying, oh God, you've loaded all of these classes that are potentially never going to get used, especially in a large world partition map where the player may never walk over to a certain area that the script is needed in, resulting in an actor never needing that script, which means that we've loaded that script into memory for no reason. Our reasoning to choose that over soft is because, one, the scripts are quite small. They're relatively, at least in our use case, they're absolutely negligible in terms of memory footprint. The way they're accessed is that they are accessed as CDOs. They are only class default objects. They're not instantiated, so there is only ever one copy of each script. And if we were to make them soft references here, because we don't reference them anywhere else, they would be probably garbage collected very quickly after they were instantiated. So we would just get stuck in this loop of the scripts getting loaded and unloaded as and whenever they were needed, and we felt that the performance overhead for that was probably worse than just having them all loaded into memory at the beginning anyway. Unless you get to a point where you have thousands of scripts, which would potentially be very difficult to manage in this setup anyway. We personally opted for hard references. By all means, if you prefer soft and you have a better means of approaching it, you're welcome to edit the code. It is MIT licensed, so go and do whatever you want with it. But I just wanted to cover that is why we use hard references. And that's the rundown of the plugin. So hopefully it's of use to somebody. Feel free to, again, download it, copy it, modify it, do whatever you like with it. Let us know what you do with it. It would be really cool to see what changes people can apply. Cheers for watching.